Well, that was quite the frustrating experience. You know, the more I go to CVS, the less I like the place. So it's 5:10 p.m., Wednesday, April 27th, 2022. Yeah, I just came out of CVS. I just left in frustration. So they did have micro USB cables there, but the cheapest one they had was $9.99, which to me is absolutely outrageous for a micro USB cable. I'm just no. It's just, there's nobody I really want to talk to that's worth $9.99 to me. That should be $5 at most. Anyway, I'm trying to figure out how to get to that, since you can't walk across the street because of the construction, which I think is light rail related. I'm trying to figure out how I get to that catwalk that he's walking on to get across the street. It's not really obvious to me here. So this is the park that is now called Patriot Square. This is where the real Patriot Square Park and Amphitheater used to be before Greg Stanton sold out this block to developers and put a CVS there that gives off a customer service. So aside from the issue with it being $9.99, I think if a person would have actually come, the person that would, when I walked in, the cashier asked, "Hey, can I help you?" I'm like, "Yeah, looking for phone charging cables." So mine seems to have given up the ghost. And he's like, "Oh, they're over there." Yeah, it's all over there from over here. I hate it when people answer over there. Like, can you walk me there and point? Because anyway, I found them, which is miraculous considering how bad my eyesight is these days. But I found them, and yeah, cheapest one was $9.99. Most of them were like $20, which is crazy. Like, who pays $20 for a charging cable? Now, there were some that were Lightning. They had a little adapter that sat on top of the Lightning that I think changed it to micro USB. And man, I wish I could have just bought that adapter for a couple of bucks. That would have been handy. So I'd imagine the Lightning cable. Oh, there's an escalator to this. Or elevator, I mean. That would have been handy. I didn't know that was there. And yeah, here you can see construction of where light rail's going in. It's kind of hard to tell if there's still going to be traffic lanes after this is done, but it kind of looks like there isn't going to be. But if you're from Utah, you can just go ahead and drive on the tracks. It's interesting. Yeah, anyway, yeah, I wasn't really about paying $10. I was kind of considering it, but then the decision to not do it came when I realized that there was a lock on the end of the little peg pole thing that the merchandise was hanging from that stopped me from taking it and bringing it to the cashier. And yeah, it's bad enough they're asking me to overpay for the ridiculously overpay for the stupid cable, but then to also make me have to hunt down somebody that could unlock it for me. It's just like, yeah, this is ridiculous. Hard pass. So yeah, after that I'm walking out and I'm thinking, well, kind of thirsty. Could really use a. Let's see what time it is. It's 5:13. I was thinking I could really use a. Never walked through this before. This is kind of nifty. I think I'm almost to the Fry's grocery store. Anyway, I was thinking I could kind of use a something to drink, and I walked by the cooler, and they got a deal going on where either for the big cans or for the slightly smaller bottles, and I much prefer the plastic bottles just because they're closable and I can bring them on the bus. It's a sealable container. I don't have any problem with those on the bus. 4 for $3, which is a great price for Arizona green iced tea. Sweet green tea, I like that. So I grabbed those, and then I'm heading to the doors that you saw I went out there by the little park area. And the only cashier there, like I see her there, but her register, as far as I can tell, her register is closed. So I've got to use the self-checkout. And I go to the self-checkout, and I don't like using self-checkout. And part of it is, I guess I'm just inept with those things. I don't. They have the prompts on the machines in such small fonts that a lot of times I really can't read them. But anyway, I'm trying to get four of those iced tea things. So I put 3 of them in the bag, and then I try to scan one. I figure I just scan it 4 times. Like that's what I do when I buy multiple items, at the self-checkout at the cashier at Amazon. Anyway, so I try to do that, and then it does some sort of thing where it stops me from, like, it just freezes the screen and it says help is on the way, and it starts like flashing, and I'm thinking, okay, good, I could really use a cashier. Pretty bold of them to assume I can read the small fonts on the screen anyway. So anyway, I had she comes up and doesn't really explain like what's going on. I just told her, well, I'm trying to get 4 of these. She goes, so you need to scan them, and I'm like, well, I'm trying to, but it won't let me. And then she brings up some text screen and keys something in, and then instead of just helping me like cash out, so I've got my EBT card out, like I'm ready to cash out. Instead of her actually helping me, she just like does that and just walks away. And I'm able to scan the 1 green tea, and then it says to put it in the bag. But at this point, I don't need to put it in the bag. I need to scan it 3 more times, and so I'm kind of confused as to what I should actually do. And then it goes back to the thing where it says, we're calling the cashier, please wait, and it's flashing and flashing. And at this point, I noticed the cashier is actually helping somebody at the cashier, which looked to be closed when I came out before. She's actually helping somebody now. And I stood there for a while. Meanwhile, this self-checkout thing is like flashing, like not like sirens, but it's like really obnoxiously flashing, which just makes me feel very, very awkward. And I stood there for, I don't know, maybe 2-3 minutes, and nobody came up to help me, and I just left in disgust with 1 iced tea sitting on the scanner, and 3 of them in the bag. Probably should have just walked out with 1 of them, because damn it, I was thirsty, and I certainly made a valiant effort to try and pay. Not my fault. They're trying to send me to a robot that doesn't communicate very well. Anyway, I'm here at Fry's. I should have a lot less trouble getting a beverage here, although I'm not sure where cold beverages are. Oh, looks like we got cold beverages ready to go over here. I don't know if they got phone cables here. I know sometimes grocery stores have those, but usually the prices are outrageous at grocery stores, even more so than drugstores, although CVS just never seems to be a good value for anything. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. Kind of frustrated with CVS, frustrated with downtown Phoenix. Like, it just never seems like anything. And God, these are not cold. They're not very cold. Yeah, it just seems like downtown Phoenix never really has the things that I need. In fact, the only thing I really like in downtown Phoenix is Taco Bell Cantina and this Fry's grocery store. But looks like my phone is going to die. I think he's trying to call me tonight. He will not be able to get through, which sucks. But it is what it is. I got to find another cord, and it's going to be a useless phone until I can do that. And damned if I'm going through all the hoops they're trying to make me go through over at CVS to do so. Yeah, fuck those guys.